My next guest this evening is a veteran television and film actor who's appeared in such films as Medium Cool and Delta Force. He can now be seen in Jackie Brown. Let's take a look.
Beaumont Livingston.
Livingston, huh?
On his prior, he served 9 months. He's working on 4 years probation.
You don't say.
You know what he's on probation for?
Ain't got a clue.
Possession of unregistered machine guns.
Yeah. Now, they gonna consider that a violation of his probation?
They do consider this a violation of his probation. Your boy's looking at 10 years, plus the concealed weapon.
He ain't gonna like that. Beaumont ain't got a doing time kind of disposition.
Please welcome Robert Forster. Hey, thanks very much for coming. I gotta say, I don't know how many people out there have seen the movie yet. I went and saw the movie over the Christmas holiday. You were amazing in this film. You did a great job.
Thanks.
Yeah, and I got to admit, when I'm a TV-ophile. Me and my brother Neil know pretty much everything about TV. That's all we did when we were kids, as most people can tell. And I remember you from a TV show, Banyan, that was on. It was one of the few things that I really knew you for. And now, you know, now you're back with this movie, which is amazing. It's a great comeback for you.
It's a thrill.
But this was amazing because I remember Banyan was one of those shows that was in that whole genre. In the 70s, everyone played a cop and on TV, and they all had names like Beretta, Banyan, Brannigan, Berrigan, Hannigan.
That's right.
It was just like that was what TV shows were. What's the name? Hannigan and Brannigan, and you couldn't even keep them all straight for the most part. Your show was on for like only 6 months.
My show was a half-season show, yes. 30s detective, old cars, old clothes, old jokes, fast women.
Yeah. Do you get recognized ever for that?
Oh, occasionally, once in a while. You know, I once went to a football game, and I tried to get back in the locker room. Guy wouldn't let me in. He said, no, see, I tried everything. I tried everything. Finally, he says, wait a second. He said, ain't you Brannigan? I said, yes, I am. He said, come on in.
But you weren't Brannigan.
I was Banyan, but, you know.
You didn't care. You got in.
I got in.
So this is amazing. It's a very cool story because, you know, you've done some film work and things like that, and I knew you from this show, and I don't see you for a while, and you come back in this very hot Quentin Tarantino movie with a great role, and I was curious, how did you get that part? How did you hook up with Quentin Tarantino?
Gee, this guy, he was real good to me, Tarantino. I didn't actually know him. I read for him once for Reservoir Dogs for the part that Lawrence Tierney did.
Right.
I didn't get the role, but he walked me out afterwards, and he said, listen, one of these days I'm going to use you.
Right.
4 or 5 years later, I run into him in a restaurant where I have breakfast in the morning. And then I asked him what he's up to, and he said that he was doing an adaptation of Elmore Leonard's Rum Punch. He said, read it. And, of course, I did. 6 months later, I walked into the same restaurant. Here he is sitting in my usual spot. I walk over to him. He hands me a script. He says, see what you think about this.
What? Really? Where is this restaurant?
Listen, I don't tell where the restaurant is anymore. I can hardly get a seat anymore, and there's an awful lot of actors coming in there.
If you mentioned where that restaurant was tomorrow, there'd be so many guys looking around.
Oh, there's a lot of guys. It's getting crowded.
I've mentioned some of, you know, that you've done some film work. I didn't mention this very interesting movie that you did. I think it was your first film. Was it Reflections?
Reflections in a Golden Eye.
Reflections in a Golden Eye. And this is a movie that you did. It was a Marlon Brando film.
Marlon Brando,
what was
Liz
the
Taylor.
This has got an interesting plot. Just briefly describe the plot of this movie.
Briefly, I play a soldier, a private on an army base, and he plays a captain, and he, I guess, is interested in me and follows me around. I'm not...
He's romantically interested.
He's romantically interested. I'm not aware of it, practically, but I am chasing his wife, who I know is a hot number, who's played by Elizabeth Taylor.
Right.
The end of the picture, at the end of the picture, they have separate bedrooms. He's looking out his window. He sees me crossing the lawn. It's at night. I sneak into the house. He thinks I'm coming up to see him. He fixes his hair, and he looks in the mirror.
Marlon Brando is like...
Well, but it was a great role, actually.
Yeah.
I walk up, I go into his wife's bedroom. And he pulls out the .45 and does the usual number. He kills me dead. So
Wait a minute, but that's the usual number?
well, it's the usual number when you find somebody fooling around with your wife.
You're a pretty cool customer. And then he does the usual number, you know? Bang, bang, they're both gone. Now, you rode, in that movie, it's kind of, you rode nude horseback in that movie. That's something I would never do. I would do just about anything. I would not ride on horseback nude. I would think that'd be very painful.
You know, it wasn't painful, but I saw it in the script.
Yeah.
And I said, gee, guy rides naked on a horse. You know, I'd never done a movie before. I thought maybe they did it with trick photography or something.
You think they were going to strap a mannequin?
I had no idea. I had no idea.
Swat it
and something happened. You know, I didn't relate to it. All I know is
suddenly that guy has no genitalia, you know?
Watch out for him.
Very, But now you don't have to do something like that's in a movie. You got some clout now. You say, I'm not doing that.
Oh, no, you don't. No, you don't. If somebody says, hey, here's a picture and you got to do this, you know, you either got, it's a package. Either you got to take it or you got to leave it alone. Over the last few years, I've been, you know, taking whatever there was. But
well, there was a period. Let's talk about this because I think that's what makes, you know, I'm real happy for you because I think that's what makes this story such a great one. That you have this great role in a really good film, and for a number of years there, it was hard for you to find work, and you were actually doing speaking engagements. Is that right?
That's correct. There was a point at which in my career I had a 5-year first act and a 25-year second act, and somewhere during.
I'm working on one of those. Yeah.
Oh no! You're still on this side.
Yeah.
Wait till you go this side for a while.
That's what I meant. I'm getting there. Don't you worry.
Oh well.
There'll be years of public access.
Well, in that case.
And then bang, bang, the usual number. But so I'm curious, who were you speaking to? Like during those periods, what kind of groups were you speaking to?
Anybody who wanted a free speaker. I spoke to Rotarians.
Free?
Free.
Oh, I thought you were doing this to make money. You're doing it for free.
No, listen, the kind of stuff I have to say isn't worth that much. But but I had time on my hands, and I started talking with actors. Then I realized that the things I had to tell actors probably had broader applications. And it all began when I said to myself, Bob, things are not going in the right direction. They're going in the wrong direction. However, the realization is you can win it in the late innings. It's not over till it's over. Never quit. That's step 3. You heard of a 12-step program? This is a 3-step program, easier to remember. Step 3 is never quit. Step 2 is you got to have a strategy to get to step 3. Step 2 is deliver excellence right now. That gives you the best shot at the best future you got coming, Bob. Step 1.
Step 1 is eat where Quentin Tarantino eats.
That's one of them. Step 1 is you got to have a good attitude to deliver step 2. So step 1 is accept all things. It doesn't matter you're not getting the good jobs. It doesn't matter if she doesn't love you anymore.
You're happy.
Hang in there, Bob. Accept all things. That gives you a good attitude. Deliver excellence right now. That gives you the best shot at the best future you got coming. And it's not over till it's over, but then it's really over. Never quit.
Well, you know what's nice is I saw this. What's one of the nicest things is
if my name was Bob, I'd go out and do something.
You could have it legally changed. You could. We're still on this side, Andy.
I know. That's why I can be smart.
You know what's real nice? One of the nicest things is I went and saw the film, and you're just a standout in this movie. It's a great performance. Everyone's abuzz about your performance in this movie. And the nicest thing about it is then we meet you, and you're a very nice guy. You don't have an attitude about it. Continued success, really. And come on back. Very nice to meet you. Robert Forster, everybody. Tito Puente is coming up. We'll be right back.